What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Bernie Mac had a show called The Bernie Mac Show, and it's loosely based on his real life. Bernie and his wife take in 3 kids from their drug-addicted mother by the name of Stacy, who is no longer able to be a proper parent. And the older sister has 2 siblings, one younger lady by the name of Brianna and Jordan. But then there is Vanessa Tompkins, who is played by a young lady by the name of Camille Winbush. Now, Camille Winbush must have been preteen or a teenager as soon as this came about, and no doubt many people in Black America loved her. And just like we see with a lot of young stars, Jaleel White, Darius McCreary, a lot of these young people don't get further in their career. Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone. So they're great when they're young, and when they get older, they're just not in the industry anymore. But we think that these people are always going to be rich. Unfortunately, we've seen with people like Todd Bridges and Gary Coleman, childhood superstardom has a price. And Camille Winbush stopped by Comedy Hype, reflecting on her career and why she ended up joining this particular site.
How has OnlyFans kind of played in terms of career-wise? Has it helped sustain you? That was a large part of the energy that I saw people throwing at you, oh, you don't need the money, or did she go broke? How do you respond to that criticism?
Okay. Well, people that are outside of the acting world have no place to speak on it. When people are saying, oh, those Bernie Mac checks must have dried up, or from a job 20 years ago when I was a 12-year-old, yeah, duh.
Because we think the residuals are still coming through, though.
I mean, they do, but
it's not.
Listen, if I was on Friends making $1 million an episode, yes, those residual checks would still be very nice. But as time goes on, they get smaller and smaller every year. You're not making the same amount that you were when the show was current per episode.
Right.
So, as someone who was just a kid, don't get me wrong, still making good money,
mm-hmm.
but 20 years later, those checks are not sustainable for a living. And with the industry being as fickle as it is, you can't count on any job to last or even to book a job. So over the years, I have done regular 9-to-5s.
Oh, wow.
I owned an ice cream shop for 3 years when I was a teenager.
Wow.
And I funded that with my own money. I taught gymnastics to kids where I was making $11, $12 an hour. So I've done that.
Wow.
But if I can find a way to make enough to buy a home from the comfort and safety of my own living room, why wouldn't I do that?
Right. Yeah, I think because when I first saw it, of course I was surprised. That's a natural reaction. But I also think that people are probably, they see you in a certain, a royalty, a certain air, and the association with OnlyFans gets a bad rap.
As an actor, you play different characters and you get put into all kinds of scenarios. You can play a drug dealer, a drug addict, a murderer, a stripper. People have sex, well, not real sex, but insinuated sex on camera. So how is that any different just because it's a different platform. Like, if I'm playing a stripper on TV, would that be more acceptable to everyone if I'm not even stripping on the internet from the comfort of my home? So it makes me wonder, is it the platform itself or the content? Because the content would be the same, if not more. And then to answer your question, my family, my immediate family, my mom, my dad, I told them about it before I did it. And they were supportive. My mom has always been my cheerleader, and she was like, okay, girl, you want me to do your hair? Like, make sure you suck in, get them pictures right. My dad was like, I think that's effing brilliant, you know, do what you gotta do and take advantage of it while you can.
So you see, she ended up joining up on OnlyFans. Times got hard, taking 9-to-5 jobs. And many people are always thinking that somebody's rich, she's doing well, she's doing this, she's doing that. But ultimately, you don't really know how much suffering somebody really is doing. And one of the things that I realized, and I'm going to be honest here, I've noticed this since I've been in this business. So many of the ladies that are IG models or that are trending, you know, bro, like, none of these ladies save any of the money that they get, right? They don't save it. And now when they don't save the money and they'll take pictures like they're doing this, like they're doing that, but ultimately I'm gonna tell you what happens with them. They even do worse than OnlyFans. At least she's on there. They go to straight up booty clapping. Okay, this is nonstop cheek clapping it up. It's nonstop, sometimes porn. It's nonstop selling your body on the low. But you look at them on Instagram, and I mean, they're quoting Bible scriptures on Instagram. You look at them on Instagram, and you know they're on trips. Man, they're getting booty clapped up. Then you know somebody exposed. They have a lot out here in East Africa, man. You see these chicks, and some ex-boyfriend is a person that don't even love them no more. And then he put out all their photos and, you know, things like that. And, you know, the whole country gets to see their news, and it's just terrible. And it just goes to show you, man, like, first of all, how tough it is out here and how much work that you need to do to be sufficient. And you can't depend on these industries. It takes a lot of work. And a lot of these people that are content creators or been in Hollywood, we don't know what they have seen, man. We don't know what, you know, they've had to go through. We all know about, you know, I talked about certain levels of booty clapping and things like that. We don't know what happens to these people. And it is very, very, very unfortunate as to what occurs in these folks' lives. And a lot of ladies can find themselves in this sort of precarious situation. I don't think that is funny. I mean, you know, this girl was a kid, and you know, she ends up going this way, and you don't meet the right man, and you know, you don't have the right situation going on, man. It's tough. It's really tough, man. So guys, we think it's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with an episode of Celebrity Junk. Put your fire, just heard a bell. We're out.